Brothers and sisters and friends, this afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Good morning. We start swinging already. Swinging down. First guy, Omaha in the morning. Paul Beeee, buddy to Gawd.
Hey.
What's going on, y'all? Appreciate you guys joining us this morning on Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. Yep.
Man, they bringing the energy already. Leah Keister.
Yeah?
What's up, Wednesday? What's up?
RG said, hump day. Sean McCarthy gives us a morning, everyone. Appreciate y'all coming in on the hump day. Appreciate that this Wednesday morning. Kind of excited about the show today. We got a special guest coming in that I've been wanting to talk to for a little while. So yeah, man, it's going down. Brother Keeves. Can't wait. My man K2.
Yeah, man.
Been doing some big work. We got to talk about it. So yeah, special guest coming in today. Of course, we'll give you some news updates and some other things to talk about. And can't wait to hear about what's going on with y'all. I know there was the mayoral debate again. Another one that happened yesterday. Anybody attend? Anybody check it out? What's the thought process? We're kind of trying to keep up to see how well John Ewing is doing in the mayoral race.
Man,
yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting run this time around. This will be her fourth term, Stouther's fourth term, and I haven't seen the energy quite this intense over the challenge this time. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. It seems like a lot of people are tuned in to this race. Yeah, a lot of people chiming up. Actually, a lot of support for Brother Ewing. So, shout out to Cameron if you didn't get to catch that debate. I think it is available on Friends Of. So yeah.
And shout out to everybody who's putting stuff in Friends Of for us to check out for the show and for other reasons, for more discussion reasons, and lots of stuff going on there. Appreciate that. Mama Gawd in the house saying good morning, First Sky fam. Good morning to you.
Hey.
Marlon Harrison says good morning, First Sky family. Right on. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Ariel's 402 in the house. What's up, man? He says, I don't go to church because it's full of sinners.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there. Yeah, man. I can't wait to have this discussion, man. I think it's going to be real cool. We're going to have a special guest on that actually was working on the movie.
Yeah, a couple movies actually. Yeah,
couple movies that are out right now in IMAX.
Yeah,
which is impressive to me on a whole bunch of different levels. So yeah, man, I love it. Also, Pops gives us a good Wednesday morning. Much love, First Sky fam. Appreciate you, Pops. RG says folks are tired of Streetcar Sally, man. He cracks me every time we call it Streetcar Sally.
You like that one? Mean Gene.
So this is interesting when you think about what your legacy is going to be, what they're going to remember you for.
The streetcar, is that going to be
Go and put Mayor Stouther's mural on the side of the streetcar.
Dang.
That's what's up. Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. Gwen Easter gives us a good morning. Appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you. Again, it is Wednesday, April the 30th. Kind of rainy day out here. If you're going to be, if you're in the Omaha, Nebraska area, rainy. It's going to be a rainy day today, all day. So get ready for that. And yeah, man, other than that, how's your midweek going? Let us know how you're feeling. What's on your mind these days? Put it in the chat. You can also always put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha when we're not live.
Yeah, man.
Black Dynamite in the house. Good morning, y'all. We're halfway there. Heard that. Appreciate it, man. How you doing today, buddy? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Could have, use maybe an hour, maybe just a little tinge more sleep, but I'm here. Definitely looking forward to today's conversation. As always, just glad to be here. Glad to do this thing. Like, being able to do this 3 days a week is actually a blessing. And a privilege, man, to engage with the community, have that communal vibe, share some thoughts, have some laughs, maybe cry a little bit sometimes. You never know. So yeah, appreciate everybody tuned in with us right now. Looking forward to the conversation as always. You're ready to let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. before we get into today's community updates. What's good with you, Paul? What's the word, man?
Yeah, man. I'm good. I'm good. Just plenty busy. You know, we are all constantly expanding and building and growing, so that means more work. It's on us.
Yeah, man.
So you know, just trying to keep a head above water about work. At the same time, just trying to make sure that we can figure out how we're gonna survive everything that's going on around here, and
Man.
team up with the fam and make sure the fam's taken care of, and make sure we got some prospects. And what I enjoy about this show too is really kind of keeping up on what's going on in the news on a regular basis. With the intent of how is this affecting us and what can we do about it. And that gives you a little peace of mind when you got a little bit of a plan after you've talked to your constituents and friends and family about it. So that's what I appreciate about the 3 day a week thing here. So yeah, I'm good. I'm just struggling along like everybody else, man, for sure.
Yeah, and nice balance in that as well. We also talk about other things as far as, did you go see Sinners, man? What art have you gone seeing lately? Did you check out the Union? Did you go by the open house? What we doing?
Good question. Also, something's going down over at the Jocelyn as well too. It's like a art night or art week going on over there too. So I don't know if you plan on, or if you've seen the new Jocelyn. I hadn't even seen the expanded wing on it yet.
Man,
It used to be my favorite place, and I haven't had a chance to get over there. I think only one person in my family's even been over there to see it. So I'm still looking forward to going there and checking the Jocelyn out. Lots of good art spots here. Stuff going down to the Culture House all the time. Art battle every month. So yeah, man, we definitely will talk about that and more. As a matter of fact, we might as well jump into some community news now.
hey,
Talk about a few things. One of the things that stood out to me recently is I'm always looking forward to this, just because I'm a guy who likes decent weather and to be outside. You know, it gives me feelings of being back home. Farmers market coming back to the metro here pretty soon. Next week is when it opens up. I believe it's August. I believe it's May 3rd that the farmers market will start back up on Saturdays and Sundays. So
nice.
yeah, looking forward to getting out there, man, getting some fresh, and all that good stuff. And so yeah, and I'm also looking forward to seeing what's going on in our community with the farmers market. I know there was a farmers market on 24th at one point, so I'm ready to start asking some questions, seeing who's putting what together. The official Omaha farmers market that I just was showing you there is the one that's downtown on Saturdays, Old Market on Saturdays, and Exarban on Sundays. But where are the other ones at? Love to hear about that. And there's some year-round farmers markets too that I just found out about this year that I want to dive into. So yeah, man. And I love to see how our neighborhood gardens and stuff are flourishing in that environment, to be able to go set up a table and sell the goods, sell the wares. How that affects the our community with not just food security, but also entrepreneurship, and selling what's on some of these farms, some of these family farms and stuff that they got going. So love to continue to talk about that. Also, this is a huge thing that's happening too, man. The For the Love of Barbecue is coming up, and
The Rib Shack.
man, the Rib Shack's been very, very vocal, but there are tons of other people that are coming. As a matter of fact, the amazing food sponsors that are happening here is Wayne's New School Barbecue, Mr. Smoke Signals. That's our man Smoking Doja. Big Mama's Kitchen's gonna be there. Southern Spoon, Oklahoma Jones Barbecue, Jim's Rib Haven, Lazy Buffalo Barbecue, Island Chill Omaha, Just Good Meat, Cisco. There's so many partners that are coming through, and so many places that are going to be all in one spot getting down. And I think it's going to be a awesome scene here, man. Everybody's coming out. So whatever kind of barbecue lover you are, you're going to get all sides if you come here. It's a free event.
Man.
And they're asking for donations and asking for food donations and stuff like that too. You can see right on the flyer donation requests, chicken ribs, bottled water, fruit, chips. Give them a call and see how you can help with this thing here. This is a fundraiser as well, so they're really trying to do that. Rib Shack has been really kind of calling out to do the fourth. This is the fourth annual For the Love of Barbecue. Wait, is it the fourth? Yeah, fourth annual. Yep, and it's happening on May 4th, Sunday at Miller Park. So I expect a lot of people out there, man. Houston Alexander's doing the music out there. I expect a lot of people out for this. I think it's going to be awesome. So, needing more information, man, definitely check out. You can talk to the folks over at the Rib Shack. You can also go to www.fortheloveofbarbecue.org and ask, find out some more information there and see what you can do there. But I definitely think it's going to be an important event for our community, and all the entrepreneurs out here with the barbecue spots. Yeah, this is something that's been growing over the course of some years. So go check it out.
Man, Black Dynamite, I'm with you. He says I volunteer to come eat. Hey.
That's what I'm talking about. RG in the chat said next Saturday there was going to be a House of Afro Capes and Curls event over at Miller Park. Okay, excuse me. We'll have to dive into that. We usually got all the events happening from House of Afro Capes and Curls that we try to help promote because Jade is one of our partners over there. So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. I appreciate you reminding me on grabbing that. I'll definitely grab that and have it for you on Friday. What's going on at Miller Park with House of Afro Capes and Curls. Also, Sean McCarthy says, I finally went over to Jocelyn's renovated gallery for a few Saturdays ago. Definitely worth checking out.
Nice.
Jocelyn is world class, bro. World class. In my world travels, I've definitely decided that I was going to go around looking at all the high level museums all over the place that I visited, and Jocelyn holds up in a real big way. So,
man, big time.
Yeah, definitely check it out, man. Definitely check it out. Donnell Sessions in the chat saying good morning. Appreciate you coming on this morning. Unfortunately, we do have to talk a little bit about some bad news here. I know that we were trying to keep it a little upbeat, but unfortunately, it's in the news that they found the bodies of the three girls that all the girls that passed away in the river. They remember last week we talked about one of the girls' bodies that was found, and so they started putting their efforts in that area and found the other two. So rest in peace, Leona Green, Locke Trey Moo, and Ed Crest Moo. This has been real tough on the community in a big way. The mother of Leona Green especially was very vocal and really showing her emotion, man. Really kind of letting people know her pain. And shout out to all the organizations that went looking, the community that went looking. Shout out to Melissa Wright on Channel 3, man. She really was covering this story. She said, I spent almost every day of the last 2 weeks at the Missouri River, and every day became more of a challenge. Certain stories never get easier. So keep the Green, Jones, and Moo family in your prayers. They are amazing people and deserve so much love. Check in, follow up, and make sure they know they are unforgotten.
Man.
So shout out to Melissa Wright, man. She really covered that and was really kind of doing the good work of us keeping us on top of that in a big way. There is one GoFundMe out for the Moo family, and I'll put that in the chat right now too. If you're so inclined to hit that and check it out, and we'll be looking out for other fundraisers there for the families as well, for the other family too. But yeah, unfortunately, that saga has kind of come to an end. It's been 2 or 3 weeks, and I just am impressed by the community and the organizations that kept looking. Knowing, a weekend we were like, man, them girls, we didn't. It felt like a real hopeless situation, but they kept trying, kept hoping for as long as they could, and kept diligent on trying to find them, and they finally did, and hopefully that'll bring some closure to the families. But can't imagine losing your family that way. One more thing that we got to mention too. There's another missing post that's out now. Jay Big Eagle, 17 years old. He has been missing since April 16th, 2025. So they said he identifying characteristics. He's a black and white book bag he was carrying. He's wearing black pants, black hoodie and tan t-shirt, and black Jordans. If you have any information, please call OPD at 402-444-4600. So yeah, so just I wanted to make sure that we honor put those out. If the community doesn't really kick in and look, then it'll be a tough one. It'll be a tough one for everybody. So we definitely want to make sure that we help the families out on that. One hat that I want to mention is Native Soul Big Elk Indian Taco sale that's coming up. Appreciate Brother Lavelle Wells, who's doing what he's doing. This is coming up on May 2nd, so this is Friday. So mark your calendars. Go ahead and do something different for lunch, and go check out Brother Wells over there. Native Soul Big Elk Indian Taco sale. It's a fundraiser as well as opportunity to get together and kind of see what he does over there with bringing the Black and indigenous communities together, and the work that he does meeting with men as well, and all the other work he does over there. So 11 a.m. it starts until sold out. He's over at Center Mall, 1941 South 42nd Street on the 4th floor. Go check him out. He said you can pre-order as well, 402-216-1953. get your pre-orders in so you can just come scoop, pick it up. But yeah, do something different for lunch on Friday, and go check out Brother Wells at Native Soul Big Elk for his Indian taco sale. Appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of the community updates. We got lots of community updates coming up. But let's talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. Of course, we talked about the special guest that we have coming in to the show today. So stay tuned. Brother K2 is going to come through, and we're going to talk about some fun stuff today with him. I can't wait to really dive in to see what kind of work he's been doing. I'm real excited about this one. Really excited. But in the meantime, between time, buddy, what's today's thread? What are we going to be talking about today?
Man, actually, today I'm not really seeing a common thread through all the stories. A big shout out to all the listeners out there, all the friends of dropping stories on the page and the group page on Facebook. If you're not already a member, definitely check us out, Friends of First Guy Omaha on Facebook. But I actually am noticing that a lot of the stories, again, we've found a pretty comprehensive way to talk about everything that goes on in the community, and just about every story matches one of our tenets. So I wanted to roll through it like that. Again, for those of you who have been paying attention over the years, we have seven tenets that we have named our seasons after, and kind of flow through the conversation that way. Starting with the activism is journalism, without spending too much time on that. I definitely am kind of considering this whole missing girls story. Activism is journalism, just from what you said as far as the community chiming up. I believe Loctre Mu, her body was discovered by a community member. Again, there was several agencies out, doing the work and searching up and down the river, but it unfortunately was a community member who came across the first body. And again, just shows the importance of everybody doing a part, everybody getting involved, and everybody again getting active. That's the idea as far as journalism is activism. Us going back to 2020 and Freedom Summer and looking at what's going on in the community and what can we do to add, to pitch a helping hand to add to what's going on, to increase the situation and to just help each other make this a better place to live. And although it is a very unfortunate situation, I will say that I'm kind of looking at the discovery of the two young girls' body as a plus, just an end. It's just an end, looking at being close to the Levi Blake situation and how the family was impacted while the search, for his body was going on, and just kind of the relief when you can at least be able to say goodbye, So very, very sad saga, but hopefully this can help with the family try to, move on, find some closure, remember their loved ones. But so big shout out, as you mentioned, to all those who helped with that one. But several other things to talk about. Of course, there's some legislative things coming up. We have our Senator Cipher coming up on Monday. A lot of updates coming out. There's a few hearings coming out as regards to the debate on medical marijuana, which is very important, definitely given the impact it could have on the state's budget, which is not looking good. A few articles coming out of the Nebraska Examiner about that situation, kind of follow the money type vibes, if you will. Also, Space is the Place was definitely a thing where we focused on housing. Most namely, there's an update with the City View Apartments situation. Again, we reported, or it is being reported, that they are in a receivership now, and the receiver has taken ownership. But what does that mean for the future of City View and the people who live there? So we'll dive into that a little bit. And of course, there's several other things. As we mentioned, we'll be having our guests come on a little later on. Actually, my cousin, man, shout out to my man K2, get into a little Love Supreme as well. An artist, man, as you see, for Disney and Marvel, and also, an Omaha native, man. So big shout out to my cousin K2 and all of you for tuning in right now here on First Guy Omaha in the morning. We're about 20 minutes in, a little behind, but it's all good. We're here. We're doing the thing. Yeah, we live. Paul B, what you say, man?
Man, let's go ahead and take a quick break and we'll come right back. Shout out to everybody who's joined us this morning. Do us a favor, share the show, tell a friend. Let's get as many people in the conversation as we can, and stay tuned. I can't wait to speak to the special guest coming on, K2 in the house. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's buddy to Gawd. Stay tuned, y'all. We'll be right back.
Lead poisoning in children under 7 is scary, but it's also 100% preventable. Not only can lead be found in paint and soil, it can be found in many common spices, certain baby foods, and brought home from job sites. Children with lead poisoning might not show any symptoms until their levels are dangerously high. So ask your healthcare provider for a lead test for your child. You can help prevent lead poisoning in children. Brought to you.
Shout out to the Douglas County Health Department for that message. We appreciate them. Shout out to Precious McKesson, also from Democratic Party, that is talking to us about this race coming up. We know that this is the season of the ballot and the bullet, and there is a election happening that for us fires up on May 13th, and we're already in the early voting in-person voting season right now. It kind of started April 28th, started a couple days ago. So if you're early voting by mail, you can send that in now, or of course you can go mail, drop it off at a drop box, or you can take it up to the election office at 12220 West Center Road in Omaha. Early voting is happening now, and but the polls open on May 13th. So also do yourself a favor and find out if your polling place is the same, because sometimes they change those up periodically here and there. You need to make sure that you know where you're going if you're going to vote on the day of. But yeah, man, lots going on. Of course, there's a lot of races that are happening. Of course, the big one, John Ewing, is up against Mayor Stothard for mayor. We have an opportunity to have a new mayor for us in our district. Omaha City Council District 2 especially is a contentious fight going on right now. LaVanya Goodwin and Ben Gray, which is there's lots of conversation and stories behind that for sure.
Yeah.
So and as you can see, everybody else who's running as well. We got Omaha City Council Pete Festerson on one. Also, the other one is City Council or Omaha City Council District 4. Ron Hugg and Andrew Adams is another pretty contentious fight going on as well. So there's a lot of stuff happening right now that we need to be paying attention to. And of course, you can always go to our YouTube channel and check out the interviews that we did with some of the candidates. We have more of those coming soon. In the next few days, we'll be interviewing some more folks here for this as well. But all the way up until vote time, really, which is everybody's kind of doing their research right up until the day. So we'll try to add to that by having some more interviews ready for you. But go to YouTube, like and subscribe, check out previous shows, and definitely check out some of the Meet the Candidate videos that we got over there for sure. So appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you for joining us and giving us your testimony on what it is you're going to do and how you spread the word about what needs to happen here as far as the voting is concerned. And I've definitely seen an uptick in the time that we've been doing this show of interested people who hadn't voted before, voting now, voting again, and all that good stuff. So it's going down, and we appreciate everybody who is a part of that. So, yeah. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it over to you, buddy. What's on your mind? What's first on the agenda?
Well, actually, carrying on right where you left off as far as the ballot or the bullet, getting people again civically engaged is one of the themes. That's actually the theme we're in right now. So yeah, let's kick off with that, man. And looking at what's happening in the legislature again, we will be having our senator cipher on Monday, and that's our attempt to again bring you the senators, give you an opportunity to engage with the legislature, ask some questions about what's going on in our state as far as laws and changes. But again, there's other opportunities to do that, not just on First Sky Omaha. There's actually this upcoming weekend will be 3 series of legislative hearings in regards to medical cannabis. Actually, earlier, I think last week, there was a story that came out about how several senators in the legislature is kind of being called out. Actually, shout out to Senator McKinney and several other senators for undermining the voice of the people. Again, there are several bills, several areas where the people had the opportunity and the ability to vote on these things, and they voted a certain way. And since that vote has come out, since the people has expressed their will, we've seen legislation that has gone to actually kind of undermine that and reverse these things, and kind of sentiments from some legislators that the people don't know what it is that they want. And a lot of paternalism, I think, is the word that Paul uses a lot. Like the people can't make a decision for themselves. But here is an opportunity to do just that. Again, share your thoughts, let your mind be free, let your voice be heard. At least that is the call from Senators John Kavanaugh, Rick Holdcroft, and Ben Hansen. They all plan to host a series of again, hearings and town halls over the weekend. Saturday will be in La Vista, Sunday will be in Omaha, and Monday will be in Lincoln. Again, they're calling for everybody. It is open to all to come and share their thoughts about the status of medical marijuana in the state, and again, the status of some of the legislation that's out, namely LB 677. Which again seeks to help the ballot measure build better guide rails with help from supporters who put the measure on the ballot. We kind of spoke about this on Monday with Senator McKinney in our last Senator Cipher as far as the regulations, what the situation looks like. And again, we'll get into this here a little later on, but as far as the economic impact of this medical marijuana conversation, again, the state is going broke. And yeah, a little medical marijuana might help with that situation. But before we get to that, any comments, Paul? Any comments, people? I see a few people commenting.
Yeah, Anthony Rogers right is saying medical MJ is becoming the new Medicaid expansion in Nebraska.
We getting into Medicaid too.
Let us know what you missed. Let's expound on that if you will. Appreciate that. And it looks like yeah, they're talking back and forth to each other about the race. So appreciate that. You guys have a good conversation there on that one. But yeah, as far as this one is concerned, yeah, I think, you know, my viewpoint on it was that it's always going to be a struggle when it comes to medical marijuana in this state. You know, and it's continuing to be. So we'll see what's happening. This is also in light of what's been happening here with the shops all over town that's selling the cannabis stuff. What's the name of the
42 degrees?
Yeah, it's I can't remember the name of the Delta 9, Delta 8.
Delta 9 and CBD and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they just busted it was just in the news. They just busted a team of people that were creating illegal versions of that and supplying all the spots all around town too. So just as we were hearing, there's some crackdown in legislature, some crackdown from politicians on what's going on with that, and they're about to really kind of push that as well. While this whole debate about medical marijuana is going on, so it's interesting that it's happening all at the same time, and you know, again, it feels to me like it's always going to be a struggle in this state. They're really going to be always pushing against it. So I'm not really sure where it's going to go. You know, with is the will of the people going to be taken in consideration, or are we always going to have politicians with some agendas? You know, is that the fight? I mean, that's a crazy fight. If that's the fight, that's a crazy fight when you think about it, because the politicians are supposed to be here representing the people and what it is the people want. So how is it the people and wanting what they want, fighting politicians who want to push an agenda is a crazy kind of fight. So
it really is.
Yeah.
But this is a situation that does kind of hit close to home for me. Because you know, these head shops, if you will, or whatever you want to call them, the fact that there's no regulation, which is kind of what this LB 677 is aiming to do, is the biggest concern for me. And you know, it is kind of disheartening, the fact that the reason that there is no regulation is because there's pushback, you know, and if they're legislators would just go with the will of the people, then they'll figure, okay, the people want this, let's figure out how to regulate it. But that's not the conversation. And in lieu of that regulation, there's things like kratom out there, and things like, there's a lot of, you know, other things that they sell, synthetics that they sell in these stores. And you know, I may have shared this in a past episode, but didn't really get the toxicology report, but I believe kratom had a part to play in the passing of my cousin. So you know, this stuff is dangerous, man. You know, the K2, if you remember back in the day, people smoking that stuff, and anything could be sold in these stores and without regulation.
That stuff was stolen and sold in the stores too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, pay attention around the register at gas stations and all kind of stuff. And again, you know what I mean? It's not being regulated. It's kind of wide open, and we see, as you mentioned, there are people who are taking advantage of that in our community. The 42 degrees by your mama's house, right? Yeah.
I don't know if they're part of any of this, but there's definitely cannabis shops that have popped up everywhere. There's tons of them everywhere, and I think they are getting ready to get some regulation. I think there's some politicians cracking down on this stuff that's happening right now. So it was interesting that was in the news, that it was a couple. They were like this putting this stuff together and putting illegal amounts in and supplying some of these shops. And we still don't know who they've supplied yet, but you can be sure you probably know some of them that got supplied. So we'll see how this works out. Anthony Rogers right in the chat is saying you have to ask yourself the real reason why the state would rather lose millions of dollars to Colorado and Missouri than get this done. Could it be the prison industrial complex? How many years have I been saying that? This state would rather put money in jails and catch people coming from the border than that's the revenue they're looking for more than the revenue that Colorado would make. Switching to being able to legalize what's going on here. They would rather bust you than the other. And he's saying exactly what I've been saying, what I've been thinking. In this state, they would rather punish people, catch them at the border driving through and put them in jail and make the money from the prison industrial complex than invest in legalizing like the states surrounding us. So It's interesting to hear somebody else say that too. Appreciate your comment there. Stephen Abraham in the chat, good morning, says those synthetic drugs are aimed at the biology of thought, causing massive mental health issues. You don't really think about like what those things are doing to people that survive it. You know what I'm saying? Black Dynamite says, I don't understand why I just doesn't talk to Colorado and Missouri and figure out how to regulate it. Like I said, I don't think that's their intent. I think they're all the way against it. Mama Guy in the chat says it was confirmed in his death. Person is dying in your face and you'll never know.
Man, talking about my cousin. So yeah, that kratom, man. And you'll see it in the stores.
Good point, Black Dynamite. He said, then again, we're also losing out on the casinos until last year. Right. It was, they got this thing, man. They talk about the Bible Belt being in other places, but this is this is one of them places that believes in sinners and stuff too. Like when you got a state that is saying people can't use EBT for pop and candy because they being paternal in a way that's like you shouldn't buy that stuff with the money that you get, and everything has to do with whether or not you're a sinner, whether or not you're doing stuff that they consider sinning. None of the rest of the stuff matters. It doesn't matter about revenue. I mean, this is a state that will pass up revenue instead of looking at all the states around. It's been legalized in several different states. They will pass up big money, take shorter money in the prison industrial complex, so that they instead of consider what the people are saying they want.
That part. But let them cook though. Let them cook. Let's go ahead and ride right into the next article because it's funny, man. Like we're watching the state kind of play itself in front of our eyes. And it's very funny that you brought up the sin situation because they are literally looking at the sin tax to try to figure out this whole budget situation. and again, it's the senators have said it multiple times, things like medical marijuana, casinos, these things being taxed makes sense. And yet the state just doesn't want to get on board. Yet here we are in Nebraska Examiner reporting that Nebraska's budget has grown, or excuse me, budget deficit has grown by $190 million with less than a month to close the gap. According to the article, senators are suggesting new sales tax, also increases in sin taxes, changes to prison or Perkins County Canal, also a pause in income tax cuts to help fill the budget hole. This is in addition, like the state was already on a slippery slope, already going in the wrong direction, already months, if not years, if not months away from being default. And again, the deficit has grown. Actually, Nebraska projected deficit for the next 2 years has grown by 190 million. State lawmakers again have less than a month to figure out what to do with the budget. The Nebraska Economic Forecasting Advisory Board, which is the subcommittee that came out with a projection, revised its earlier projections and again, covering the next 2 fiscal years, are saying that lawmakers are considering an annual budget writing process. The budget advanced from the Appropriations Committee without revised projections. And at the time, it was about 124 million left to find, and now add on another 190 million to that. So again, not looking good in the state, and all the answers that seem to be right under their nose seem too good to be true.
Yeah. RG saying it, man. Council Bluffs literally transformed the last 30 to 35 years from the riverboat casino revenue.
Man, follow the money.
Same thing with Colorado. Look at what happened with Colorado when things when they legalized it over there. There's just so much evidence all around. You don't even got to go far. You don't want to look at California or New York, but you want to look at any states that are close by and what that means and what kind of revenue that could be. The ideas of how to gain some revenue here in this state with this deficit that seems to be going on. They would rather take programs away from poor people,
man,
and figure out another solution. So, it's just interesting. Mama Guy in the chat says YouTube sounded the warning months ago. State trying to hide it, but we going broke. Loss of immigration workers did not help. We can talk about that as well, man. The threat of ICE has got a lot of people deciding they moving and not coming into work, and believe this is still a very agricultural state.
man.
So farms are hurting. A lot of stuff going on here all at the same time, and I think it's real interesting how it's ended up in a deficit that everybody's all up in arms about, including isn't this tied to what Bacon just the article that Bacon just was featured in with him trying to take away Medicaid? Isn't that because of the deficit? They're trying to find ways to save money, and so they're talking about taking away from Medicaid now.
Yeah, this is coming out of KTV7. Again, somebody mentioned Medicaid earlier. Man, check the number on this cut though, and this is from Nebraska Representative Don Bacon, who says he's found $500 billion in cuts to Medicaid that he would support. I think this is on the federal level, but again, those cuts include work requirements for able-bodied adults with no children, which will result in about $200 billion in savings. Also removing undocumented migrants from Medicaid coverage, which would apparently add another $200 billion in savings, and then requiring a yearly audit to ensure only qualified people are receiving Medicaid, which will result in another $100 billion in savings. So again, man, in Nebraska, according to Nebraska DHHS, about 360,000 Nebraskans use Medicaid. So you're looking at, maybe a huge chunk. I'm not saying that necessarily a percentage of that, but a huge chunk losing out on Medicaid. And again, going in the wrong direction, man. More and more cuts.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I'm not really sure what's happening there on that. Anthony Rogers Wright is saying he's not trying to take away Medicaid. He put a $500 billion cap on how much can be cut. That didn't sound like what the article was saying was happening here. But nonetheless, I think that the problem is that why are they looking at cuts with programs that help people? Why is that the first place to look when there's so many other things that they could be, switching out with dollars and finding solutions to more dollars is if needed is the real kind of situation too. It's messed up. It's really messed up. He says, the messed up part is that Bacon is proposing nothing than what Bill Clinton passed when he ended welfare. Okay. Stephen Abraham in the chat says, to measure the temperature of a city, you look at the homeless population, and there's a lot of young people that use the synthetic drug that are down at the shelters in mental health distress. Says I go to shelters every week and go to people's homes across the metro, and if you could hear the stories, man. Yeah, this is another thing to really kind of consider with that too. But again, they may be able to get some help, especially if they're homeless, especially if they're on drugs, especially if there's something going on. What do you do for healthcare when you're in a messed up situation like that? What can you do? And if they're trying to make these cuts, just don't understand where they're coming from and why they decide that's what it is. Anthony Rogers Wright says the cuts are needed to pay for extending Trump's tax cuts for the wealthy. That's what it definitely feels like. Mama God says revising from annual to quarterly is proposal. How is workforce going to support that? All good questions. Really appreciate that very much. Appreciate you commenting on this. It's the first 100 days of Trump's presidency, and it feels like he's been in here for years again already. It's only been 100 days, and he's upended a whole lot of stuff. A lot of people lost their jobs. The economy is in chaos, much worse than it was when he came in office, and we're still looking at ways that they're trying to cut programs away and money away from people that need it. So not really sure where we're gonna go with that, but that's the situation, and I'm glad that we're looking at it in a granular way from the state and what the state is talking about doing, how the state is supporting what's going on with Trump, because that's kind of the battle as well. We'll take a quick break here at 7:41 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, stay tuned. We'll be right back, and hopefully we'll see what's going on with our guests here. Appreciate everybody that's joining us right now. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's buddy to Gawd.
Hey.
Be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. In the morning. Okay, he is there. I didn't see you on the camera. I was like, where'd buddy go? Appreciate you joining us, coming back. Oh, okay. All right. You had some technical difficulty over there?
Yeah. Trying to. We back.
Oh man. Okay. I appreciate you guys joining us. 7:43 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we are anticipating our guests, but I think we're having some technical difficulties here. So if not, then we'll have to have them on another time. But we definitely still want to jump back into the conversation on a lot of what's happening here, man. My biggest question was about how it is that people are working in the industry. I was under the impression that Keys, your cousin, was out of town working, but he's in town working and working on major major flicks.
Yeah, man.
Which is right along with the reason why we wanted to bring him on, because of what we've been talking about as far as this movie is concerned, and the cultural significance that's happening right now in the culture because of this movie. And I find it really I love this Omaha connection. It goes to show you, we were always a proponent of, you got to leave town to go work in the industry that you're trying to work in, especially if you're in the entertainment industry, because there's no industry here in Omaha for that. And if you want to do something, you got to move out of town for that. And he's the one example of a cat that stayed in town and still did that, which is very, very rare and super interesting. So if we don't get him on today, we're gonna have to get him on another day, because I definitely want to hear about this situation. Is as far as I'm concerned, I think it's kind of a dream come true to be able to kind of work where you live next to your family, but still be in the zeitgeist of the culture in the big way.
Yeah, and as you see, I got my union hat on. It goes along with that conversation that we've been having as far as, again, supporting arts in the community. Again, this is somebody, it's my cousin, but this is also an artist right from Omaha that's doing big things, man. So yeah, we'll definitely be working on getting him on. He's not messaging back, so we'll see what's going on as far as the tech goes. But definitely continue with the conversation. Big shout out to everybody who's chiming in right now. Again, for those who just going back to the medical marijuana situation, those who are interested in those hearings. Again, La Vista is on Friday. No, Saturday. Their meeting in Omaha will be on Saturday, and then the meeting in Lincoln will be on Sunday. Or no, Omaha Sunday, Lincoln is Monday. Pardon so. So we'll share that story on Friends of, for those who want to check that out.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Feel free to comment in the chat. I know there's a whole conversation going on right now. It's the Tony Johnson, Anthony Rogers show. So don't be scared of that. Go ahead and comment on anything that we're talking about, and join the conversation on this. I think this is something that we're definitely thinking about a lot right now because of the situation that we're in right now. Not just in the country, but in our state. Locally, as far as our politicians and stuff are concerned, that are really kind of pushing agendas that we may not agree with on a lot of different levels. But just a reminder that it's not just who's in those seats. That's definitely a part of it. I always want to reiterate that we're always about the self-sufficiency that we're trying to build, the togetherness that we're trying to build, and the community we're trying to build in order for us to be able to take care of the things that we really need to take care of and concentrate on ourselves, and understand that there's lanes all over the place, and who's in the seats is a lane as well. I was watching city council yesterday, and I turned it off, man. I was real kind of, yeah, man. I disappointed in some of the leadership that's happening in city council. I'm glad there's an election coming up. I'll just say that, in order to change some of these things. But I always try to watch it to try to get a grasp of what it is that can be done on a local level, especially if you're thinking about development, you're thinking about housing, you're thinking about stuff that's going on, being built all around. Who's doing that? People come out from California and investing in 16th Street and rebuilding buildings, and and all this stuff is happening and going through, and I see sometimes people, like especially Councilwoman Juanita Johnson was real hesitant on one build on 16th Street. But I don't really feel like it was for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like it was a very frustrating. Every time I try to watch it, it's very frustrating. This is why I know I could never be in city council, because I get so entirely frustrated by people with the way they pontificate him and Hall, with their opinions about stuff, the paternalism, all the stuff that goes on. I feel like a lot of people are there trying to do the best they can, but it's just I think it's a system that is just inefficient and crazy. So, and it could just be me, my personal viewpoint on it, my personal, feeling. Like, of course, that's been going on for years. So they they uh, they 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 have a system, they have a way of trying to get some things done, but is it sufficient for us, especially those of us in our community? uh, it's it's kind of messed up, and I'm anxious to see what goes on. But it just makes me want to turn it off, and then call up the brothers and go figure out what we doing next. Like it always inspires me for that part, and that's why I want to keep on talking about it. So we'll see. Donnell Sessions asking, did they talk about the White Lotus group? I didn't watch it long enough to hear that. They may have. I'm not sure. Anthony Rogers Wright saying, breaking more silly ways to make up the budget shortfall in the uni. What's that? What are those ways?
Yeah, you got some breaking news for us?
Yeah. Also, Tony Johnson in the chat is saying, part of this understandable that history and actions of the political leadership locally and nationally being used to mobilize people. If you read bills in history, you will see hypocrisy. Yeah, I can see that. Most def. So again, just with the last little parts of the show, I just want to, get back to that thought. I always often use this platform and our discussions in my mornings in general to think my own thoughts, to really try to get to the point where I'm thinking what I'm thinking, and taking in information and figuring out where I'm coming from with that, with everything. And I always try to leave it with that part. What can we do to come together as a community and take care of some of the issues that we got to take care of? And as I was looking through my notes, I was reminded that we had a blueprint of this before, man. You want to talk about the Panther programs?
Man,
you want to take a look at their programs? I got the link right here. Go
laid
check
out.
it out. We can talk about all the programs that they put together because of the need, and it had to do with everything that we are still suffering with today. Inequities and food deserts, and lack of education, and lack of child care, lack of medical, the transportation, They even put car clubs together and stuff like that to be able to transport people who needed to get to work. Everything that the community needed, they put a plan in place for, and we need to get, there's no stopping us from continuing that on. I'm sure there's some areas in the country that are doing that. We should do that too. And even though we talk a lot about politics, and even we're in a political season right now, whoever is going to come in there, we're going to have a problem with. They're not going to do everything that's needed, and I don't want to keep on thinking that they are the end all be all to what we need in our community.
Mm.
Can't be. Even Senator Terrell McKinney says that don't put your faith in anyone or any group of politicians. They're only one part of this thing. They got a lane. They have a lane. It does help for them the right person to be in the right seats, but that's not all there is to it. And I just got to kind of try to stick with that. Anthony Rogers Rice says Mayday tomorrow, folks. Speaking of the Panthers, show love and solidarity with all workers and the sacrifices they made. Appreciate that. Donnell Sessions says White Lotus owns properties in North O that are purposely mismanaged. I didn't see them doing that in other areas of the city.
Interesting. Actually, in the last few minutes, speaking of properties that have been mismanaged, we do have an update on the City View situation.
Word.
Yeah, space is the place theme. So yeah, thanks for that, Donnell. And yeah, if you have more information on the White Lotus situation, send it our way. Look into that. But Zodic is definitely one of the ones that are making their rounds across news platforms, really across the nation. Again, Zodic Property Management, the former owners now of City View properties or apartments, as again, Channel 3 is reporting that they have been put into finally a official receiver. And Mayor Stothard says that she has questions for the receiver, like what his plans are to secure the building, fix code violations, and what the timeline is and how fast things will get done. One of the big things, of course, is the elevator. As far as the cost of fixing it, they're saying $250,000 just to fix the elevators, not to mention some of the pipes and some of the other things, again, wrong with the property. Whether or not they will have to evacuate is still up in the air. They do have Sister Tamara Dwyer, who is the homeless coordinator for the city, working on a plan just in case individuals are forced to evacuate. But again, they're talking about shelters, which we know are pretty full right now. There's already a 30, and counting deficit as far as 30,000 houses needed. So, where are they going to take these people? Where are they going to send them? It's kind of hard to see right now. But definitely a situation we continue to keep our eyes on. And big shout out to the likes of, Brother Anthony Rogers Wright, or Brother Sherman Wells, Brother Paul Philman, really everybody who's been speaking up about the housing situation, not just City View, but fighting the towers, keeping that vocal.
Big time. Ran into Dave Pontos, attorney who's been helping with a lot of people in their tenants' rights, doing pro bono work, as a matter of fact, to help the situation. And they're working with Tenants United because Tenants United is still kind of in the news. If you remember, they were getting attacked by a group of landlords, basically, that wanted to try to act like they were out here giving legal advice when they shouldn't be, and they were attacking them just because of the fact that Tenants United is trying to let people know what their rights are. And they're getting attacked. And so shout out to all the soldiers that are working on this, Dave Pontos and everybody else. We talked about him coming on the show to give us some updates on that. So we'll have him on in the future here to talk about that a little bit as well. But shout out to everybody at Tenants United that's doing the good work, and Hassani Lee, who's still working on the rights of tenants as well. And officially, he was one of those ones that digs into the books and finds out what the rights are. And also receive some heat for sharing it with the neighbors, so they can know what their rights are. So shout out to everybody who's doing that. As a matter of fact, Underwood Tennis Group has a fund. I'll go ahead and put that link in there as well if you want to help do that.
Support
there. And of course, we're trying to help. Our way of helping support too is by our merch store. So you can go to firstskyomaha.com, hit the store button. The Fight the Tower shirts and the OG First Sky shirts, both of those shirts are part of the proceeds go to the Underwood Tennis Group, of which I just put in the chat there. So we're still trying to raise money to help them fight and go and be able to get to court and spread the word, office supplies, all the things they need is to keep fighting a good fight. And that's all we can do. That's part of what we can do. Shout out to the senators that are in the legislature right now too, pushing for some of those things too. Some of the bills that they're trying to push has to do with tenants' rights and housing. So again, you got your grassroots, you got your politicians, you got your businesses that are also trying to help with some of these things. You got your small time developers. Shout out to Don what's brother
Yeah,
Don
Don Curry.
Curry. Yeah, brother Curry, who's in that fight on that level as a small developer that is putting some housing units in the neighborhoods that he grew up in, and he's helping with the housing, helping with some low income for some of those units for some people as well, and that'll help. So there's so many different facets here of how we can try to help people get what they need. Uh, Again, what Buddy always says, man, we all we got, but that's enough.
Man, big time, big time, big time. Actually, speaking of that, Tony Johnson asking in the chat, North Omaha schools ending soon. Who hosting summer youth food programs? I know, of course, Big Sherman Wells talking about bringing back his summer program for the babies, and which they were providing food at those events. So definitely tap in with him. I think that's kicking off in early June at the Assembly of the Saints. So look out for that. Also, no more empty pots. I definitely, we kind of talked about food insecurity, and I think the last episode, especially with the Highlander development, and they have the new greenhouse over there, and I believe they rolled out some programs that they'll be having over the summer, and the work that they do in food insecurity. So thinking of no more empty pots as well. I just wanted to give them a shout out.
There you go. That's what's up. RG, no, I do not have the 3Xs yet. I will definitely keep working on trying to get that show on the road too. I'll definitely let you know as soon as we do. Appreciate all you guys who have come through. Mama God said we need to burn the whole system down. The corruption is baked in the blood. All parties. You ain't lying. You ain't lying. Donnell Sessions has given us the link to White Lotus Group for us to do our own research on that. Appreciate that very much. Yep. Ariel's 402 is already headed out. He said, have a blessed day. Appreciate that very much. Man, you know what we haven't done in a long time around here?
What's that?
What's the Haps? What's happening? What's going down?
Hey, you know what, man? The only Haps that I got today.
What's happening?
The only Haps I got today is for you to go to the movies.
Man.
Go to the movies. Because we're waiting on all y'all to go check out what we got to check out so we can talk about it a little bit when it's time. The significance of the cultural significance that's happening right now surrounding this movie on so many different levels, not just the movie and the subject of the movie, but the box office numbers of 161 million, breaking records.
Man, million,
breaking records as a deal in Hollywood on how to open the door. This is one of them open the door moments. We may first Omaha makes a movie in 2 or 3 years. It's gonna be because we're gonna have the kind of deal Ryan Coogler just secured right now.
Man,
setting the precedent for black movie makers to do the thing. And yeah, man, we got to talk about some of these things. I walked out of the movie when I saw it thinking my main thought, which is, how does this affect North Omaha? This is kind of one of the first thoughts that I have when I see everything. And there's a connection, big connection, not just a actual connection with people in Omaha working on the film that we will try to get on another time, but also just a cultural connection in general with what's happening in our community, and how we're in this time that we are right now with this particular president, with this particular climate in the country. And even though we can all get this doom and gloom, and this is wild and this is crazy, and we're a little bit fearful, and some of us are looking at other countries to move to and all kinds of stuff, we also are seeing pushback. Exactly what I thought was going to really happen is you can't really do what was done in the past with if this is going to turn into a fascist situation around here like it was with Hitler, it's going to be looking a little different. It's going to look a little different. Like Fred Hampton said back in the day, like we will not be taking the position of the Jews the way that they did in that situation. Even back then they were like, it's going to be fight. It's going to be fight. And I see that a lot, especially being in the kind of news scene that we are, the alternative news scene. because a lot of this stuff doesn't get on mainstream news. There are people in the streets, bro. There are people fighting back all the time. Judges fighting back. There's all kinds of stuff going on because when you start pushing people up against the wall, then they start fighting back and they start getting together and stuff starts happening. And usually you can see it with how the art happens, how art comes out.
Man,
I saw a meme this morning that cracked me. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can find this. There was a meme I saw this morning that had me smiling. It was about DEI that I thought was pretty funny, just because of the fact that it was because we're in this climate that we are. It could seem like it's some kind of renaissance going on with white supremacy and everything else that's happening. I mean,
man,
a lot of us know that white supremacist situation has been going on this whole time. It seems very, very much more loud now, but is it really? Is it really when you see stuff like what's going on with the Sinners movie? When you see Beyonce winning best Grammy for country artist, and some of these people that are Kendrick right now, Kendrick and SZA, they calling them recession proof. Them cats are selling out every show.
man.
Not just in the entertainment industry, but so many more industries, so many more things that are going on right now that in the political world and in the activist world, lots of stuff happening. That is the fight back, and it sometimes you grab onto those things so that you can get a little hope. You can feel a little hope about what's happening, and it's not just a blind hope. It's this, you actually see progress being made in a lot of different ways. So that's what it is. Mama God in the chat says, I feel I had access to more stuff than my grandchildren had today. Technical advancement seems to be a setback in many ways. That's interesting. Anthony Rogers Rice says, are there any drive-in movie in Omaha area, y'all, like the ones that show movies in like centers? There is a drive-in movie theater out in the Bellevue area. Excuse me, I gotta see what they are checking out. But I did just get a message from Film Streams that they're like, you want to come see Centers in your neighborhood theater?
Nice.
Making an event, check it out. So definitely going to do that. But yeah, if you find that out, I would love to know about other drive-in theaters if they exist anymore as well. Appreciate that. Tina in the chat says, pre-election, both sides are the same rhetoric led to the same cyclical pushback against people who are clearly not the same. Lots to talk about this, and it is the season, and we're going to get to it because voting is happening May 13th, and couple weeks. Got to make that decision. Got to push. Got to get people to go in, and you're gonna see a whole lot. You're gonna see a whole lot of push this next couple of weeks with especially the mayoral race. You're gonna get sick of watching everything that has to do with that race. There'll be so much media material out there. So figure out what you want to do. I'm proud to see a lot of people rallying behind Brother Ewing. I'm proud to see people who weren't voting before that are chiming up. That always happens. So hopefully that'll make some kind of a difference, and we'll see. With that said, we're already 3 minutes past. We can go ahead and get up and get out of here, buddy. What's on your mind? You looking at the chat? Something on your mind over there?
Yeah, I'm looking through the chat. I'm looking through, make sure we covered all the stories. I did want to mention somebody talked about the House of Afros, Capes, and Curls event on Saturday. Black Fae Day is what's going down. That's from 12 to 5. So yeah, shout out to the house. We'll have that. You can check out the poster or the flyer on Friends Up, but we'll talk about it a little bit more on Friday. The house gets down, man. So shout out to Jade and the whole crew over there. And shout out to you for tuning in with us here on First Guy Omaha in the morning. Unfortunately, again, couldn't get our guest on, but we'll work on making that happen, man. Because again, this is a conversation we want to bring to you and highlight what's dope in our community and the individuals doing dope things, man. So shout out to all of you. Paul B.
Yo.
On your mind, man. What you thinking?
I'm thinking nope.
Nah.
No 2 hours, Black Dynamite. Appreciate you pushing for it. Pop says, thank you for another good one. See you all on Friday. Appreciate you, Pops. Yeah, we're looking at another special guest coming in on Friday, and we'll be talking about the Haps that are happening. Lots of stuff going on in May. And lots of stuff going on in May. It's going to be a Haps May in a big way. So, and June too, June and July. There's going to be a lot of stuff we're going to have to start mapping out what it is that we're going to be doing in the next 3 months. There's a ton of stuff happening, man. Shout out to Freedom Fest that's coming. Malcolm X 100 birthday is happening. Not
Man,
to
I
mention-
saw they got dead prayers coming out for that, man.
Come on, man. Come
yeah,
on, man.
yeah. It's becoming a thing.
Yeah, it's going down. So we'll definitely be talking about it. But I appreciate everybody that has joined us, and we definitely will talk to you on Friday. Shout out to Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you and for speaking with us on these subjects as well. Thank you. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you and talk about these subjects and allowing us to lead some of the conversation so that we can all get on the same page about some things too. And also just getting up early and coming with us and coming through, even if you're on different subjects and talking to each other, that's cool. Whatever gets us together, brings us together, and makes it so that we can kind of understand where we all stand and be in the conversation. So really appreciate that. Appreciate you very much. Also, Mama God said can't go since I learned it's a zombie movie. Thank you, Kiara.
It's not even a zombie movie.
Heads up.
It's not even zombies. It's
zombies, vampires. It's all demons. So, I understand. Not Neil Session says thank you. I appreciate you coming in as well with your comment and your thing to look at. So thank you so much for everybody who's joining us. Please tell a friend. You missed any parts of the show, please go back to YouTube, like and subscribe over there, and watch any of the previous episodes that are there. Really appreciate you guys that are joining over there as well. We're seeing some numbers grow a little bit over on YouTube, but we got a lot of stuff that we're getting ready to release on YouTube. So we highly suggest you go over there and like and subscribe, hit the bell so that when we do drop something, it'll notify you and you can make sure that you come check it out, especially live events that we got going on. We're really looking towards doing some more live events on YouTube coming up. So there it is, man. Appreciate that very much. Tony Johnson also says College World Series is also around the corner. Great time to show North Omaha needs and demands to the city.
Man,
lots of stuff happening. This summer is going to be packed full of events, not just in North Omaha, but the whole city. It's going down. Going down. All righty. You guys take it easy. Take care of yourself. Avoid zombies and demons, vampires. And we will talk to you very, very soon. Appreciate you. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves.
Peace.
Let's get your umbrellas out, y'all. It's supposed to rain today for sure.
It's gonna rain on your head.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red, the black, and the green. Crossroad with the key.
By any means.